if John Wick can get a female-led spin-off flick, maybe Mission Impossible can too. I mean, I would be down for a female-led Mission Impossible spin-off. But also, I think what I want the most is the Paloma spin-off for Bond. Hey guys, this is Frozen Wish to use here, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, I am going to be doing a review on Ballerina. So Ballerina is the fifth film in the John Wick franchise, but is not in the main John Wick universe, but rather is a standalone spin-off that focuses on one of the ballerinas from Roma that was seen in John Wick Chapter 3. And the film is directed by Len Wiseman, co-directed by Chad Stahelski, which had to be done. I'll talk about it later. And it stars Ana de Armas, Angelica Houston, Keanu Reeves, Norman Reedus, Lance Reddick, Catalina Sandino Moreno, Ian McShane, Gabriel Bryan, etc. And so the film tells the story of a young girl named Ballerina who witnessed her father die after a home invasion. So now Ballerina Ballerina, like, no, straight, no, not Ballerina, Eve, yeah, her name is Eve Macaro, is taken into custody thanks to Winston, Ian McShane's character, who pretty much brings her into the Roma, who is her father's family, and so she trains with the other assassins over under the Roma to become an assassin herself, in hopes of getting revenge on the people who murdered her father. But it's not just about Eva like trying to save her, trying to like save her father and all that stuff. I mean, not save, but rather bring vengeance. But also to pretty much stop whatever the organization is doing, because that organization, or rather cult with an X mark on their arms, they want to kidnap children, the children of the Rascaroma, order to um like train them to join their side. And so Eva must not only bring her father justice, but also to save all the kidnapped girl children from that. So yeah, now I think those who deeply know me so well since 2021 know that I am a huge Ana de Armas fan. 2021 was the year where I was at my biggest Ana de Armas fanboyism phase, as she played Paloma, the best James Bond character ever. And I know that Paloma technically only had 10 minutes of screen time in that film, but I mean, those 10 minutes of screen time, make the biggest impact, because that was the single greatest scene of all time. No, I mean, not the greatest scene of all time, but the greatest scene in any Bond movie. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I recently rewatched No Time to Die in preparation for Ballerina, just for that Paloma scene, and although I'm not sure if I would still go as far as, although I don't really think it's the best movie of 2021 anymore. As now West Side Story is now my favorite movie of 2021 on reflection. Maybe No Time to Die can be my favorite movie of the year again, but I don't know. I think West Side Story is just, I just find myself rewatching and thinking about West Side Story more than No Time to Die. But No Time to Die still holds up as the greatest Bond movie ever made. Maybe the greatest action movie ever made. And also, Bond's death is still the saddest moment in all of film history. I still sub my ass off watching James Bond die. I still cried just as hard as I did watching it for the first time. And so yeah, of course, it was inevitable that I wanted a Paloma spin-off. But well, you all know, 1 month after No Time to Die, they announced an action film starring Ana de Armas. And although it's not in the James Bond universe, but rather in the John Wick universe, which is kind of cool. Now, yes, even though I wished it was a Paloma spin-off, I'm still happy that we got an Andy Armas led action film inside the John Wick universe. That is something to me. And yeah, the John Wick franchise is one of the most consistent movie franchises of all time. People say it's the most consistent action franchise of all time, and I kind of agree. Although I will say that I don't really hold the John Wick franchise dear close to my heart, as like I don't find myself as passionate towards it as I am for the Mission Impossible franchise, and especially the James Bond franchise. And yeah, sure, I know you can argue that ranking the three franchises based on consistency, it'll be um John Wick number one, number two Mission Impossible, and number three James Bond. But just based on how passionate and personal they are to me, James Bond's my number one, Mission Impossible is number two, and John Wick is number three. And even though I think all four John Wick movies are 5 out of 5s, none of them are honestly in my top 10 favorite movies of their respective year list. Even though John Wick Chapter 4 just barely missed my top 10 favorite movies of 2023 list. Well, yeah, so yeah, going into Ballerina, I knew that it was going to be the best John Wick movie ever. And although, yes, I mean, at that time, when it was first announced, I did call it my most anticipated movie of all time because of just how I desperately wanted this. But as time went on, yeah, I didn't really have a lot of hype for it. I was still hyped for it, but just not as much as I initially thought. This movie was initially supposed to come out in 2023, but it got delayed and delayed and delayed and delayed. So, well, technically, it only got delayed twice because from June 2023, it got delayed to June 2024, and now we got it in June 2025. And the movie's delay is not because of the writers guild strike or SAG-AFTRA, whatever you call it, or even COVID. No, it's just the fact that this movie faced massive production hell. As I think the big concern that everyone had going into this one that made people lower their expectations for it. It's not because of the female led, as a lot of people would claim, because of just how quote unquote woke female led movies are. It's because it's from a director with a bad reputation. I mean, he's the same director who helmed the Underworld series and the shitty Total Recall remake, which those movies are but he did direct one good movie, which is Live Free and Die Hard, which I would say is my third favorite Die Hard movie behind the original and Die Hard with a Vengeance. Yeah, Live Free and Die Hard is a top three Die Hard movie for me, and I think that's the one film that Len Wiseman did a good job at. So you may think that okay, well maybe Ballerina can be there's still hope for Ballerina since he did a good movie, but the test screener reactions were an absolute catastrophe. They were saying that the Ballerinas was an absolute disaster in every single way possible. So they decided to they gave this movie such extensive reshoots out to the point where they even hired Chad Stahelski, the director of the main John Wick films, to help us save this movie from Len Wiseman's. And yeah, so usually when a movie is reshot, it's inevitable that it would get bad reviews all around. But the trailer was a total banger. I mean, the trailer certainly got me in the hype train, and I did put this as my most anticipated movie of one of my most anticipated movies of the year, as well as without question my most anticipated movie of June 2025. Screw the live action How to Train Dragon remake. So yeah, Yeah, so thankfully though, yeah, this movie got positive reviews. Well, they all said it is the weakest John Wick movie, which is kind of a shame. But I am grateful that this movie did get positive reviews. It has like a 75% on Rotten Tomatoes, which is better than getting a Rotten score, I guess. So yeah, now I saw Ballerina back in on last Thursday. I did a double feature with this and Kraken Legends. But I decided to review Kraken Legends first because I because it is the older film, and also it how do I say this? I saw the movie online early back in May 15th, like around that time. Yeah, I think it was specifically May 15th. And then I went. And of course, yeah, and Ballerina I was just watching for the first time. And I will admit though, upon first viewing of Ballerina, I didn't really have your full in-depth thoughts in it. Like I just went out saying, "Oh my gosh, this movie is so good. I love it. I love it. It's the best genre movie ever. It's so much action and all that stuff." But I didn't really go full in depth. Like I didn't really have any in depth thoughts other than that. Just me being a fanboy. So yes, I rewatched it yesterday with my family. Especially my dad. My dad is a massive John Wick fan. Even though he says the first one is the best, even though I think it is the weakest John Wick movie. But yeah, anyways. Now I think I will say that on second viewing, I am now a lot more confident in actually giving my in-depth review on this one, going into more detail about it. So yeah, well, what I think of Ballerina. Well, I did already give a hint on my thoughts the second time, but I just want to say best John Wick movie ever. Yes, guys, this is the best John Wick movie, and you know what, guys? It's honestly not a competition. Yeah, no other John Wick movies even come close to this one because this film is so good that it made me love the whole franchise even more now. Yeah. Now I prefer James Bond is still the goat of action franchises, but now I would prefer the John Wick franchise over Mission Impossible. Why, you may ask? Well, because first of all, yeah, this film is better than all the Mission Impossible movies combined. But also, this movie did something that we haven't seen in the Mission Impossible franchise, which is giving us a female-led spin-off. So yeah, Ballerina proves that reshoots and production troubles don't equal a bad movie, as Chad Stahelski proves he can do no wrong to whatever he does, even if it means interfering with in a project he was not meant to direct. Although I will say, though, personally, I doubt I would have felt differently about the film if it was a full-on Len Wiseman production. Because I would have loved this movie regardless, because of Andy Armas being in it. But I don't think I would have as passionately loved this as much as I did with Chad Stahelski, as he certainly made things better. Not only did Ballerina live up to the hype, it exceeded them. And I'm actually glad that this movie is considered as the surprise of the year. I fucking told you so. Even if it sucks that people already saying that the garbage How to Train Dragon remake is better than this. Well, not me. Well, at this point, I think I'm gonna have to accept the fact I cannot just convince people that it sucks anymore. I just hope that the How to Train Dragon remake won't be the most positively received movie of June 2025. Maybe that could be F1, which I predict F1 will be the second best movie of June 2025. If F1 is more positively if F1 ends up being the most positively received movie of the month, I'd be glad about it because at least it's a movie um that's actually a quality film, not just uh pointless cash grab remakes. And so yeah, but yeah, anyways, but for me personally, it won't top this one regardless. Now going back to Ballerina, the movie asked the question: what if John Wick was a woman? And what we got was a much more compelling version of John Wick with stronger character development. Now, I don't know if I would say Eve is strong, is more powerful than John Wick himself, but when it comes to characterization, character development, and just how interesting of a character and compelling too, Eve Macaro is superior to John Wick for damn sure. As this is an origin story of a new character in the franchise, I did not expect non-stop action, but I am not joking when I say that this is probably the most action-packed John Wick movie yet. I was on the edge of my seat from start to finish, especially with the action scenes. But even with a movie full of girl boss, girl power action scenes, there's actually no forced feminism in the film. Now, yes, even though I hate criticisms about forced feminism, it's woke and all that stuff. I actually do know when a movie has forced feminism or not. Like Ghostbusters 2016, now that is forced feminism. The next Craig Kid, the definition of forced feminism. Ballerina, hell no. So yeah, if you think that if you're gonna call Eve Mary Sue, then fuck off. What makes Eve a very compelling and believable action heroine is that she trained for 12 years since she was a child, yet isn't technically a perfect fighter. Since there were times when she struggled and was outmatched, the party scene being an example when she was on a mission to take control of a gang and save a Korean woman, but then she got beaten by the gang. Like the gang was stronger than her. Yeah, but Eve only defeated them out of luck. But she was like surely outmatched. But as the movie progressed and progressed, you and more the more the action scenes come in, you can see that Eve gets better and better and better with fighting. So there's actually hidden character development. Within these action scenes, and you gotta like at least think about it to just feel the character development of Eve. And I know people view action scenes as just a distraction from listening to the story and character development, all that stuff. But Ballerina proves that you can still have character development and all that stuff, like and narrative even with action scenes. And even though there were times when she struggled and was outmatched, that didn't stop her from being a total badass and the film having that girl power felt. Uh, and yeah, the opening action scene in the film is the best opening scene of the year so far with the home invasion and seeing how young Eve witnessed her father's death. The film does take its time to build up on Eve's character from childhood until she grew up. But the fact that we already have a big action set piece in the beginning is just really intense. And yeah, I mean, if they make a spin off about Eve's father, I wouldn't be mad because they do set up a story that could be told with it. So yeah, or what else? Yeah. Oh, and also Ana de Armas as well. Well, I've heard some people, including my dad, that criticize Andy Armas for being too small while taking on guys at twice her size, which is unrealistic. But honestly, I don't fucking care. Like you can still fight someone while even if you're depends on your size, you don't need to be big and strong with muscles um fight them. My dad says that Gal Gadot should have been Eve Macaro instead of Ana de Armas. And it's like, if Gal Gadot was Eva Caro, I'd be happy too, but it won't make the same impact as Ana de Armas for sure. Yeah, yes, Paloma is still the best Ana de Armas role, no competition, but Eve is now the second best Ana de Armas role for sure. John Wick's appearance is undeniably fan service for sure, but at least he did kind of serve a purpose to the story without overshadowing Eve. The reason why he was in the film was because, well, the first appearance was a glorified fan service cameo, but when he appeared again in the climax, he was just assigned by the Roscaroma to keep an eye on Eve and motivate her finish a mission. John Wick was hired to stop Eve from just trying to get away with the Roscoe Ramos rules, but then John Wick was just there to spy on to spy on Eve and make sure that she finishes the mission on time because rules and consequences. Yeah. So technically, John Wick is partially an antagonist, which is cool. But yeah, there was a scene that I think John Wick fans will cheer at. It was like when John Wick actually when there's like some gangsters who went up to John Wick where he was hiding, and then John Wick just kicked the shit out of them. Yeah, that was a great scene. I won't be surprised if John Wick fans who only saw this movie for John Wick and not females girl boss would say that that was the best scene in the film. And also this movie had some decent humor as well. Humor as well, like when like one of the gangsters was like, hey, look, John Wick is fighting us. We gotta stop it. And then another one was like, oh, I mean, come on, it's gonna be easy. It's just one man, and then John Wick just defeats them both. Yeah, that was actually hilarious. Yeah. Out of the supporting cast in the film, specifically the male characters, no, Norman Reedus would be the standout of them all male characters. I mean, his scene is one of the best scenes in the film. When Eve met him, Daniel Pine. Yeah, Daniel Pine was the she met Daniel Pine at the Prague Continental Hotel. And then they both had like a fight scene, which is a top three fight scenes in the film, hands down. And yeah, and oh yeah, and also Ian McShane as well. I think this is Winston at his best character. They actually made Winston an even more compelling and interesting character than he was in the main John Wick films. And sure, the story may not be as groundbreaking as it is another revenge tale. But like what I said earlier, it's not just a film about revenge, but also it's about feminism too. As Eve's side missions are saving women from evil men, which is nice, and also it's able to expand on the John Wick lore, making itself a worthy addition to the John Wick franchise. It doesn't take away anything that we loved about the John Wick franchise. It genuinely feels like John Wick. By the way, I'm gonna give away a minor spoiler, so yeah, but I don't think anyone would care. Because the one person who cares about Ballerina did watch the film already, so yeah. The fact that one of the villains, a henchman, is actually I mean henchwoman is Eve's turns out to be Eve's sister. Now that's a plot twist that left my jaw dropping in shock. Yeah, holy shit, man. And yeah, and I think that the scene with Eve and her sister are reuniting and having that sweet conversation, that was one of the best scenes. One of my favorite scenes in the film. Oh, and also yeah. Speaking of the main villain, who I think is the Chancellor, I forgot what his name is. The villain is decent, I guess, but one of the weaker things about the film, he's a good villain. I think I somewhat remember him. I can see people say that the villain sucks ass, but I liked him. I don't think he's the best villain in the film, but I would say he is. I think he's on par with the Filipino villain in John Wick 3. Yeah, I think you know who I'm talking about if you know Mark De Castos. I forgot his name, but it's like bald guy. He's Filipino. Yeah, he's on par with that guy when it comes to the levels of John Wick villains. My favorite John Wick villain would be Ares from John Wick Chapter 2. And Marquez would be a close second. But yeah, besides those two, yeah. Now I will say there are a few things that the main John Wick films did better than this. Yeah, so one of them is that again, two John Wick villains are better than this film's main villains, Ares and Marquez. And also there are two action scenes in John Wick Chapter 4 that still remain the best action scene in the whole John Wick franchise. One of them is John Wick versus that Kingpin like character, which like That character who gives off Kingpin vibes, which I forgot the name of, but the best I can say about him is that he gives off Kingpin vibes. And yeah, the Arc de Triomphe. I should see when John Wick is like driving his car around the Arc de Triomphe, crashes it, and then just runs around that highway with so many cars and then fights them. Yeah, that is still the best action scene in the whole John Wick franchise. But this one, there is still highlight action scenes. Yeah, one of my favorite is the party scene, like Eve's first real mission, the Prague Continental fight scene with Norman Reedus, and also the car crash scene where, like, when Eva drives the car, and then there's like this car that crashes into Eve's car, just pushes it down back to the alley where Eve found got the car, and then and then there's like this fight scene. Yeah, that, not gonna lie, that car crash scene is probably the best shot scene in the film, cinematography wise. Yeah, but the best scene in the film would be Eve using the flamethrower. Holy shit, that scene just gave me absolute goosebumps. Like, especially with just how intense it, and it feels like it. I feel like I can feel the fire in me when I see Eva throw those flame torches. I think this movie would have been awesome in 4DX for damn sure. And yeah, what else? So well, yeah. Oh yeah. Also, the restaurant action scene is another highlight too, for sure. And the last point I want to make before I end this off is the fact that I think that this film deserves a sequel, as there are story points that were not resolved for with even and even a cliffhanger ending. As yeah, specifically the plot points that they did not resolve was the like how Eve is going to deal with the Oscar Roma now, because now you can clearly tell that the Oscar Roma has become an enemy to Eve when the director Angelica Houston's character has called has put a bounty on Eve's head. That was how it ended. So I think they really should address the fact that Eve has to stop the Oscar Roma and all that stuff. And also there was a scene in the film where they said where Winston asked this black lady, Eve's trainer, I forgot her name, but she reminds you of Wakanda for some reason. But basically, Winston asked that girl, does she know who her real father is? And then she was like, no. So I mean, are they trying to imply that the father from the beginning, who Eve watched die, was not actually the father? And what do they mean by that? I will say that that is my one nitpick with the answer, just that line that they don't really answer, but that doesn't stop me from adoring the film, because I think that they can still make a sequel to that, and plus the fact that the doors are open for more story to tell. Yeah. So overall, Ballerina is easily the best John Wick film, and it's not even close. It's a film that I have been waiting for since its 2021 announcement, and it delivered on its promises while still offering some surprises too. It's a shame that this movie underperformed in the box office, and even that shitty Lilo and Stitch live action remake outgrossed this at the box office. I'm guessing that they didn't watch this because of its delays, and also Len Wiseman's involvement. It's I bet my ass it's not because of the woke of feminism, because there is nothing woke about the film for sure. This is already the movie of the month without a shadow of a doubt. Even though I am hyped for F1 and also really excited for 28 years later, and pretty optimistic about Elio, for sure. And K-pop Demon Hunters, I'm pretty excited for that one. Materialist too, I guess. Even though Materialist is won't release in my country until August. And I guess Life of Chuck too. Even though I'm watching it online because it's not coming out in my area, nothing will top this for sure. Especially the How to Train Your Dragon live action remakes. If with the live action remakes, yeah. I mean, why would you want to watch a movie that's just a shot for shot remake of the original when you can watch something like this? So yeah, please support this movie. Please watch this movie. Please let this at least be break even the box office. Yeah, enough is enough with the sexist woman hate already. But you can still see this movie for John Wick. So with that said, guys, I'm gonna give Ballerina 5 stars out of 5. Masterpiece movie. John Wick Chapter 5 can either be the best or weakest John Wick movie. I will say that John Wick Chapter 5 is a little unnecessary, but rewatching John Wick Chapter 4 recently just did help me have a little more faith in John Wick Chapter 5. But that doesn't stop me from. I'm kind of predicting it to be the weakest John Wick film. So yeah, but if they add Eve Macaro in John Wick Chapter 5, like what is a rumored like in talks, then John Wick Chapter 5 will be the best of the main John Wick films. But it definitely won't top this one for sure. So also for my review of Ballerina, what are your thoughts on the film? Who agrees with me that this is the best John Wick movie, or do you think it's the weakest John Wick movie? Comment down below, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and stay tuned for my review on The Last of Us Season 2. Yes, I am finally getting into Last of Us Season 2. I'm gonna try and review it today. Yeah. So yeah. Bye guys.